Welcome back to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. And after a long weekend and much celebrations, we have a lot to get into today. But before I kick it to Zach and you guys for what we did over the weekend, I just wanted to tell you we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're talking some NBA, a lot of stuff happening with the NBA, a lot of movement. You guys already know that. We'll touch on the Joey Chestnut controversy. And then we'll get into a fantasy section this week finally and talk about some of our most interesting camp battles and how they'll affect your drafts coming up. But let's get to our weekend, man. The 4th of July.
Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to say.
The America champions of the world.
Yeah, so I don't know what we're supposed to do there.
Yeah. So how was your Independence Day?
It was great, actually. Yeah, we have a lake in our community. Mm-hmm. We're not on the lake, but we're in a community with a lake, and man, those people spent some money on fireworks.
Didn't they? Know?
Yeah.
Well, we are in Lake County. I think technically we're all in communities with lakes.
We're in a county with a lake. Was it a chill weekend for you guys? Like, was it compared to a few other 4th of Julys? Like, was it as balls to the wall? Was it?
It wasn't a chill weekend for me. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at the beach for like 2 days, and then we came back and well, the 4th was actually chill. We chilled on the 4th, but the weekend was not. We I went to the store. We got some, like I said, dogs and some burgers. Got some pretzels. Got some bomb pops.
Ooh, bomb pops.
For the kids and all that, and we watched Independence Day as a family.
Nice.
It's the greatest, most rewatchable movie ever.
And let me tell you something. I looked over at my wife like towards the end of the movie.
She was crying, obviously.
No, well, she thought she was going to fall asleep, and that movie kept her. I mean, it was surprising. She was surprised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But best
Zach,
thing.
have you watched that movie?
Shut up. Best thing ever.
No.
All right, if you can imagine, we started watching around 9, so we finished around 11. At that time.
Oh, so
That's when the first firework went off.
Well,
in the
no, there
neighborhood.
was they were going off all day.
Yeah.
But I mean, during the speech, I'm hearing bottle rockets whistling about me. I just looked
That's
at my
cool.
wife like I was pumping my fist.
How did the speech go?
Oh,
4 years ago. He's never heard it. I don't want to
ruin the speech for him.
Yeah, it's not at all the speech.
that wasn't the speech?
No.
How about you guys?
No,
It was-
it was quiet. Yeah.
Nothing as cool as that, huh?
Yeah.
No, that's why I asked, because like it was weirdly like a very like different 4th of July. I feel like I honestly did more like productive things than like celebratory things. Like I just was like trying to just knock out some things I had to get done, like lame stuff like schoolwork and the boring stuff.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, but I don't know. I talked to a lot of people today at work, and they seem to have just more of like a relaxed, like they said I wasn't doing anything. That was a good thing. I was like, all right, that's usually 4th of July is like,
Maybe people are still not in the swing of things after the last couple of years.
That could be,
They're not used to.
Yeah,
really
big
partying.
crowds and stuff, So I think Mark was with a bunch of people, though.
I had to unfollow somebody. Well, mute somebody on social media.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who?
Somebody. I don't want to say who.
I mean, I'd love
They
for
might.
you
But
to
why
say.
though?
They might watch. This, like
too much posting.
Well, no, it's just one of those like they posted.
Do we know the
today's?
person?
Yes, you do. Today's not a day to celebrate anything.
Oh, gosh. I think I know who it
Yeah,
was.
you know who.
Did I
And
comment on that?
I don't know. It was in a story, and it was just it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Dude, speaking of which, did you see the guy on? I think it was Fox News that blew up the
Bathroom?
the writer from ESPN
No.
and his take on like 4th of July and why 4th of July sucks now. Oh my god, dude! It's a very incredible read. You
Do you know
gotta
the
check it out.
name of the?
I'll get it for you after the
Okay.
show. I don't have it right now, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's an interesting time in our country. So it's you can feel that things need to change, and I think that there are things we can always need to improve. Things need to be made right, but you can still have satisfaction or love for your country. I think you
Well,
could do both.
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
united we
Good
stand, divided we fall. That's all there is to it.
There's going to be some studies about like when we changed as a society, and I don't think the studies have been written yet as to the exact moment when we changed. But I think it's going to be interesting because I was thinking about this the other day of when we lost the ability to discuss and not hate like when we walked, when we lost that ability, because like I have family members who are actively trying to move to Canada because they no longer like America. And my whole point is get the out. I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. But I'm always been of the belief that it's worth fighting for. And I don't agree with everything. There's injustices. Absolutely.
100%.
But you stay and you fight. Like, you don't give up. You stay and you fight. And anything beautiful is worth fighting for. I believe that with my marriage. I could have gotten out of there multiple times. She could have gotten out of there multiple times. But you dig in and you fight because it's worth fighting for.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
We should probably get to our comments.
Yeah. So what's worth fighting for? We talked a lot about the Browns last week. We talked a lot about the Bears. We talked a lot about specific players. So Nick, I want to say that's an L. Nick L 75. This was about how Jacoby Brissett is serviceable at the quarterback position and might lead the Browns to the playoffs. Our Browns fan thinks so. And then he commented with a nice, sophisticated 3-14.
Yeah, Nick, you're an ass.
And then,
Is he, or is he? Sometimes the truth hurts, Rocky.
Well, it
No,
looks like everybody's prayers are answered
No,
anyway, and Deshaun's going to play. So.
No, I went
Yeah.
to Nick's. I did a little social media stalking of Nick, and
Did you really?
Nick's.
What? Are you judging Nick?
Way to out our viewer.
yeah, wow.
God
Nick.
damn it.
Rocky has time.
Nick needs a new. Nick, get a new pick. That's all I'm saying. Like a new,
It's a good tagline.
New
Well,
avatar.
hopefully you did some stalking on Thornton Allen on TikTok because he said 0% chance it's that bad.
I saw that. Yeah.
And then Nick L 75 said probably they'll find a way. So,
yes, that's why.
yeah. So
he
shout out.
he
for
doubled down. So, and I'm open to bets with Nick.
that. All right.
Yeah, Nick. Nick,
Yeah,
I
Mark
believe.
doesn't want to bet you.
I
No,
believe
Rocky
Nick
doesn't
is
get out of bed for $100. That's
Even
what
though they
he
agreed on
He
250.
did agree on 250.
It was a heated moment.
I would
can't
bet
back out of
right.
a bet.
I would
never
bet
shook
with
hands.
Mark for 250 right now. But Mark backed out of it. We use a lot of it.
I'll
some
bet you
will say.
$100.
See,
I don't have your money, Rocky. As much as I would love to say that I can compete in your class,
Wait,
I
hold on,
can't.
but don't
I don't
you,
have your
wait,
money.
wait, don't you drop a cool few G's on fantasy every year?
well,
This is a lot
allegedly,
different.
allegedly.
That's a lot different.
Well, speaking of bets, we posted that as well about how there was a bet going around, and Jason
what
underscore.
are people saying about that?
Well, I'll tell you what right now.
Uh-huh.
I'll answer your question. Jason underscore Walworth said the Bears might go 0-17 next season.
Oh,
It got me thinking, like, what is the worst team next year? Like, who do we think has the worst record?
that's a good question. Yeah, who do we think really? That's
Yeah. The Jaguars again?
No.
Just throw a team out.
No, Jags-
Let's not. Yeah, let's
The
not.
Texans?
no.
I don't think the Texans
See,
would be the worst.
I
either.
think that's
Seahawks, low key, is a dark horse. Tanking with Drew Lock.
I mean, I don't think we know who the worst team is yet
Well, of
because I don't
course we
think.
don't,
Well, here's why:
Oh, I got it.
is Seattle trading DK? Who's their starting quarterback?
Drew Lock,
Like,
or no?
I don't think we know yet. I
Geno
think you
Smith?
can't really know to after preseason.
Well, just throw a team out there. Just one. Just guess. Doesn't matter.
wow, that's tough.
So going back to
The Lions?
to the
No, I don't
Seattle
think
pick.
so.
Going back to the Seattle pick. Shout out to whoever controls the Wimbledon social media. Did anybody read that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So somebody called out the Nick Krigos thing for tennis isn't even a real sport, and the Wimbledon social media handler came back and said by, and it was a Seahawks fan because their name was like Seahawks fan. Da 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 da. And they came back and said by somebody who's about to watch Drew Lock quarterback your NFL team for 17 games.
I think if I was
Fantastic.
gonna pick a team right now, I would have to go Carolina
Really?
because I think that they're up in the air about their quarterback
And their coach.
and their coach.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
I think it's actually going to be Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah, if they start Ritter, he's a
Well,
rookie.
no,
is
they
it-
would start Mariota.
They're going to start Mariota,
I don't
but
know,
I mean,
man. Ritter's winning the battle a little bit. They say.
even though Cordell Patterson is one of my favorite NFL players, he's just not a true
He
RB1.
overachieved last year. Yeah.
And
Big
you
time.
know, it's going to be on Kyle Pitts. I know they brought in Brian Edwards. They drafted Drake London, but there's a lot to be.
It's
There's a
not
lot to be
bad
seen
pick.
with that team. The team is very jumbled right now. They'd have to gel really quickly. Atlanta to me is kind of like the Jets last year. right? So you're bringing in all this help, but you're not sure who you are yet because you also just brought in a head coach, offensive coordinator, and I'm not sure. Don't fact check me on that. I'm not sure what Atlanta did coaching wise, but I just know that with their personnel, there's a lot of turnover there, and it's going to be very hard to gel so quickly.
You almost convinced me, but I think I'll go Carolina just because I feel like there's more talent in Atlanta.
Really? I mean, CMC is going to be back. You got
Is he
when
DJ
healthy?
Is he
Moore.
CMC still?
Yeah. I think so. I think if he's if he's on the field, he's going to be CMC. But
Zach, who do you got?
I want to say Jaguars again, just because Trevor Lawrence hasn't proven it in the NFL. I say that very lightly because of the supporting cast around him, but did it really get that much better? Who's their wide receiver one? Travis Etienne is coming back off an injury. James Robinson's still there. The offensive line isn't really amazing. The defense is getting better. Doug Peterson, I mean, I've seen him coach, and it took a few years. So I don't know.
Well, I think, just getting rid of Meyer is going to
It's an upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
But if I had to think about it, the division that they're in is the only reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because they could get a few wins just in the AFC South battles. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think who in the division where Buffalo is, who's the weakest team there?
Still the Jets.
Probably.
I mean, you have to say because Buffalo.
I don't know, low-key, I'm not a big Patriots guy, coming up. I know they had a few, they had, a streak where they were trending last season, but as far as talent goes...
I think they improved during the offseason.
Well, they made the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
I would say it's between Miami and New York. I'm not sure.
It's probably my bias, yeah.
They surrounded him with weapons.
I just think that this is a very
anything.
tough choice this year because I don't believe any team in the AFC North is terrible. I don't believe any team in that division, that division is terrible. I would have a hard time picking any team out of the Raiders or the Broncos or the Chargers is terrible.
That's
I
the
like
best
the
division in
Colts.
football.
Yeah.
Maybe I like the Colts. I mean, even Jacksonville. I think they've it's a
lot of competitiveness.
I think the worst team comes out of the NFC this year. And then I think you have to say Detroit improved.
Yeah, I like Detroit.
I think it has to be Atlanta, Chicago, or Carolina.
Detroit, and for fantasy purposes, Detroit has a low-key stackable offense, too, in your drafts. Because you're going to go out, you get Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T.J. Hawkinson, and then Goff. Goff is forgotten about.
You'd be imagining they're playing from behind a lot.
Yeah.
And Jameson Williams.
That's
All
a good
right.
question.
Yeah.
I like that question.
Next comment.
Last little one. We can move on quickly after this one. MX.0417.
Sick name.
Throwback to a TikTok that I made. They said, thought this was Josh Allen for a sec. That's the second time. Should I be signing autographs and going to
They thought you were Josh Allen.
They
They
thought
thought
it was
you
Josh
looked like
Allen,
Josh
yeah.
Allen?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't see that.
I got one time on TikTok too that I was Josh Allen if he was an accounting major.
I
Which I thought
thought
was
they
kinda
called you
funny.
IT Josh Allen or something, didn't they?
There,
Something
maybe
like
there was a
that.
third comment, but
Yeah.
this would be one of
I
them.
don't
so.
see it.
yeah.
I don't really see it either, but I don't know.
Reminds me of that
I mean,
meme.
you have better hair.
Hey, could you put a picture up of him and Josh Allen so we
Side
can
by
see?
side? Yeah.
Check out our TikTok and you'll look at the TikTok and maybe
Is there
you'll
a
think so too.
shirtless picture of Josh Allen and him in Hawaii? Because I like to see that comparison.
You would like
You
to
would
see
like
that,
to see
huh?
that.
Well, because I just think that would dispel the rumor.
So what I think you should do
Oh, okay,
is
I
when
get
you
what you're
post
saying.
it, I think you
I
should
mean, no
have Josh
offense.
Allen
No
next
offense,
to
Zach.
Zach. And then have you seen
Oh,
that
you-
meme
I thought
with
you were rooting for me
the skinny kid being compared to Channing Tatum? Have you seen that?
No.
That meme that goes around? It's hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, you're a good-looking guy, but Josh Allen.
Just saying, if I was quarterback for the Bills, maybe we would have a Super Bowl by now. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, maybe.
And those are the comments.
Yeah.
So thanks for commenting. Maybe you'll get shouted out on the next episode. Make sure you follow us on UFO Podcast everywhere you go.
Yeah, dudes. That is funny. And here we go with our NBA talks. There's been a lot going on. I know Mark's not really following,
I'm following.
but
I love the hoops.
a lot going on, man. A lot of player movement, and we have a bunch to talk about. But I guess the first big question is, Now, before we open the floor for this, let's make concise points because we could get off the rails with this
We can. And we're going to talk about individual ones.
after.
Yeah.
But just general, do you guys think all this free agency has been around for a while in the NBA, but recently it's been a lot more, I guess,
Mediaized.
what's the volatile, right?
Yeah, it just happened so quick, man. It's just crazy.
Do you think it helps the league? Do you think it hurts the league? Do you think it's good for the fan? It's bad for the fan? Are they the same things? The fans' interest and the league's interest, players' interest, all that jazz. Thoughts?
It's fresh, right? In that, people want to see, change in their towns for their teams, just because that seems the way the world is going, right? We don't want to really see guys that stick out their whole careers anymore. Apparently, in one city, we like them when they're changing around cities, playing with different combinations to try to bring a championship to your city. I don't think this is anything new, though. I mean, this seems like it's been going on for at least the last decade and a half with this.
Yeah, I honestly am not really a big fan. It's like a nice thing that you can see on like your notifications on your phone, like, James Harden traded the Sixers. But as a fan, like, I'm kind of tired of like shopping and reselling jerseys. I feel like every other year you're getting a new superstar to your team. It's starting to become like a thing to where if it doesn't happen in a few years, but that superstar landing at like in your city, that they're not going to be there for long anyways. I'm just not like a big fan of it. When you see like Giannis win a finals, that finals means so much more than if Durant gets traded to Portland and is playing with Dame. Like, good for Dame, but who really cares about Kevin Durant?
Well, think about the Raptors championship.
Yeah,
that team was together for a long time. They trade away probably the best player that ever played for them.
DeMar, yeah.
They have Kawhi to stay. I mean, you don't even really remember it.
There are case studies. Well, yeah. I don't know, because like that put Kawhi on a map. Like, people were talking like top 15 player of all time for him, and I feel like that's bringing him to a team that's never won a championship before is maybe a little different.
But I'm saying
to play how they did.
Good for him, though.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how great that is for the league. I mean, I think I'll let you go because you were teed up. My bad.
No. Go ahead.
No, you go. No, I mean it. Go.
I mean, being the oldest, and I think some of us remember, being in the 80s, I loved rooting for a team that didn't change too much. So, like, it was Brad Daugherty, it was Mark Price, and then everyone,
Craig Elo.
Yeah, Craig. And then they would add a little piece, and then you had the Pistons, that they were good for years, and then you had the Bulls.
It was
and
like
you had
turf wars.
Yeah, you had Utah, and then you had, they would kind of start going down, but you had Boston coming up, and then you had, it was just kind of cool. But I know why the NBA did it. They did it because they wanted every team every year to feel like it could be our year.
Right.
And I do think that you have that every year. Any team feels like
unless
we could.
Unless you're a Kings fan.
But I don't think that's
unless
true.
You're a Kings fan.
I don't think that's true. What you're saying. I think 3 or 4 teams think they can.
And I think that's
the rest of the league feels like they can't win.
Well, and
I
think you're right.
One of those top 6 or 7 players.
Yeah, because I think what it is I think that you could feel that it's possible, but in reality, it isn't possible because it ends up being 6 teams that have the real chance.
Mm-hmm. I like what you're saying because that's how I was too. Like, you want to see those guys stay home and win a championship. I mean,
and I want it to mean something for the Cavaliers.
But look at a team. Perfect example was OKC when they had Durant, they had Harden, they had Westbrook. You let that team continue to play year after year and gel even more before they all go out and sign max contracts. That's a team that you're talking about as a perennial challenger every single season, and they don't let it play out long enough. And
let's call it what it is. These players are shitty GMs. Let's just call it what it is. They all think they know who they're good with, but they don't seem to really be great.
I can't think of anybody that's like that. Who? Do you have anyone in mind?
I think that there's several players like that, and it's not just LeBron, but who else?
KD.
But
KD has sucked. He's been a disaster.
Such a diva.
The greatest team he played with, he kind of fell into by accident and left after winning the championship.
Well, hey, can I talk? Yeah. So my point that I wanted to make was I think that for the league, it's a coup for them, right? Because all this drama, it's like a reality show.
It is.
the player movement, the speculation, they get to take headlines away from the NFL, and that's who their real competition is, right? So awesome for them, awesome for players. And like you both were alluding to, I think it sucks for the fan because like if you don't land one of those top 5 guys that wants to move that summer, then yeah, it doesn't really matter. You could keep building your team, like the Knicks, putting together young talent and getting better, but it doesn't matter when you have guys forming super teams. I mean, it's not the same. And I think long term it winds up hurting the NBA. And then like maybe 5-7 years from now, you're gonna have less and less people fans of teams,
more fans of
and
players,
just gravitating more to the players.
Which I think hurts. And I ask you, you're a Sixers fan.
Yeah.
Well, and a Nets fan. And
No, I'm not. I'm
who
not.
else are
All
you?
right, that's crazy. I'm not a Nets. I'm not a Nets. I'm not a Nets fan. I'm not a Nets fan.
Well, I wasn't sure. I'm sorry. It's hard to keep.
It does
it's
say it right over your left
hard to
shoulder.
keep-
Those are the Jersey Nets.
hard to keep straight.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness to us, it's hard to keep.
Yeah.
The Sixers, who?
Or the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, Orlando. Who are you rooting for? Is it Embiid or I'm like?
That's the thing. Like, it sucks because like I feel like now the Sixers are a team where like, oh, here's Harden. Like, what's that going to be about? Like, we get PJ Tucker. Like, we.
It was a good move.
I love that move.
It was a great move. Yeah,
But it just assembles like a team that, like, is that like PJ Tucker's entire contract is fully guaranteed for 3 years. Like that's insane. Like, I just don't. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't mind like watching other teams crash and burn. Like, I honestly don't like the Nets at all. Like, seeing them get Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and then trading for James Harden, I was like, oh, that's a shithole from the second that trade happened. Like, I really didn't think it was going to work at all.
This is the Nets' potential second collapse.
Yeah, because they just got Simmons.
It's collapsed.
Yeah, but I mean, like this is their second
Back
total.
when they got like KG, Paul
yeah.
Pierce.
Yeah, I mean but
It's a little different this time, though. I mean, they're going to be
They'll get picks and they'll get
recruit.
A good example though, because you were mentioning, I don't know if you're mentioning a specific, like the Knicks, how like they've been acquiring young talent, but they haven't got like. I think the Heat are a good example of what modern NBA like,
what you want it to be.
management can be. Yes.
Yeah.
Because like you get a Jimmy Butler, but you have Heat culture.
And you have players you drafted there.
Yes.
And
The Bucks are another good example. You have Giannis and you have like Dear Country.
and possibly the Cavs the second go around that
Maybe.
LeBron left. Maybe.
You're just thinking like the guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll just say this for LeBron. I think the more these players move around and like what Durant's doing to his legacy,
Killing it.
it's
by
just
the way.
making LeBron look better and better because LeBron, for whatever you want to say about
He goes and he wins.
not that, just like, he caught all the flack for the announcement and all that jazz, but he finished his contracts and then moved on to free agency. He wasn't bailing on contracts, forcing his way out of anything. And he did win. He went to Miami, but he went back to Cleveland.
He won in Cleveland.
there,
He went to
and
LA.
then he went to LA, and then
He's won.
He won, and then a terrible season last season. He's not trying to force his way out. He's bad GM, but I just think at the end of their careers, he's going to look a lot better versus what Durant's done, Kyrie's done,
Big time.
even Kawhi.
At the end of his career, he's going to be the only player that is going to have an argument with Jordan.
But Curry too is kind of cementing his legacy too. If he stays,
Depending
with the
on
same
how
team for
yeah.
the rest
Warriors
of
are
his
another
career.
good team.
Well, and depending
like
on
the
if he
Heat.
doesn't get injured, like he's a smaller player. He's had an injury history early in his career,
Yeah.
so it's possible he could denigrate fast. But if he doesn't, you're right. I think he's going to have
Denigrate as a
All
word.
right, so let's talk about some teams in particular, and I'm gonna pitch to you because a lot of these teams are teams that you were interested in. But New Look T-Wolves, they got rid of Patrick Beverly, which I'm sure the city's heartbroken over.
Fifth
but
team in 5 years for Pat Bev.
New Look Timberwolves. What do you think?
Is that a new logo?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I just don't remember. I don't recall the Seahawks colors.
That's fair. No, you're a few years late on that one.
What do you
Like
mean?
the Seahawks green
Like
and
the
everything.
green
I
and
don't
everything.
remember. I don't.
Oh yeah, they had that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you say that name?
I'm not touching that with the
Timberwolves.
10-foot pole.
Timber
Yeah.
hooves.
Timberwolves, something like
That was before we started recording.
Timberwolves.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
This is
they're
your
gonna
section, so you got to run.
they're
with
gonna
it.
be killed by small teams. To have newsflash, if you are watching and don't know, Rudy Gobert got traded to the Timberwolves, and I kind of like the move, but I don't know. The Wolves are an interesting team because they have a lot of talent. Like they have John Morant, they have now Gobert, Cat. They kept D'Lo is a good old veteran player.
Anthony Edwards.
John
Yeah.
Morant.
Oh, I'm sorry,
He
not
said
John
John
Morant. My
Morant?
bad. My bad. Wow.
Carl
Whiff.
Did you mean Anthony
Big
Edwards?
whiff. Yeah, sorry.
You meant Big Cat.
You
My
better clip
bad.
that shit.
Oh my.
Oh no, there's not a chance he's getting that clipped. But
I've clipped some messages.
But if I mispronounce Timberwolves, then that's getting clipped. For
That's
sure.
insane.
Yeah. So let's see. This is a challenge here.
Coming
So were you saying you
from the guy who's not the resident NBA guy, this guy here.
I wasn't even listening to him. Sorry, I spaced out.
I don't know if it's gonna work. If I'm being honest with you,
Well, the
mesh.
West is stacked, man.
It's just like I don't see it like personality wise too.
I think
like
you
I
got
don't
to
know.
try though, and I think that they're in the same position that most teams are. You just got to try to grab and put together and see if it works.
I
Because
guess,
you're
but-
competing against all these other teams that are being created, these super teams.
I guess now Gobert can just truly just rebound and block because they're gonna move Cat to. I mean, what you want him shooting perimeter shots now? Like,
Well, he does, and I think that Cat is a legit like top 20 player, right? I mean,
no, he's good. He's good.
But what I think their secret weapon is, I think Anthony Edwards, if he continues to trend in the way he's going, he could be a top 10 player. I don't think I'm going crazy by saying that. I think he has the talent. I think he has also the temperament to kind of push himself there.
Yeah.
And if that's what you need in a market like that, for that guy that you drafted to kind of turn into a top 10 player, and I think he can, even though I don't love the guy because of some comments he had about RJ Barrett, but he's a great player.
He had some
And
comments
I think-
about Rudy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
That's
Yeah.
not, I don't know. Let's see it happen.
What did you just switch the?
Yeah.
You gotta let me say it.
Okay, well, I thought.
All right, so let's talk about the Jazz.
Oh
Wait,
man,
can I point out that
what?
I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Well, no, I'm just saying-
Because sometimes you say do it without me saying it, and sometimes you say do it without. So,
Come on.
you know, so I asked you to touch my leg. You say don't. I don't touch your leg. You know, I got you.
Well,
Got to get me.
well, how am I supposed to go to this if I don't know you're pressing the button?
All right, I'm waiting.
Are you on the rag or what?
No, I'm waiting.
So let's talk about the Jazz who traded Rudy Gobert.
There we go.
I'm surprised it took this long. Quite honestly, that rift between him and Donovan.
Yeah.
He started COVID.
Oh
Gobert.
man, there's tension. So, do we think he'll want to stay? It's been rumored that he's been wanting to be moved out, or
I don't. They gotta make it. This is a more sensitive management room than Damian Lillard is for Portland. Like I feel like Damian wants to stay, but they have to make it worth it for him to sign that extension that's predetermined. But for Mitchell, I don't think Mitchell wants to stay. I think he's going somewhere else. I don't know if the Jazz can really even put it together to make him stay.
I think when you look at Damian seems to be a Portland kind of guy.
Yeah,
I don't think Utah is someplace that he's ever wanted to be.
you can
It
just
ha-
see it.
he's from New York?
You can
Yeah.
see it in his face just after those losses.
I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a market for everyone. You
Yeah.
know, some of those smaller market teams, you're going out there, and if you're a younger guy that's into, if you're coming from New York City,
Yeah.
you find yourself in
it-
Utah. I mean,
yeah.
I'd imagine there's some culture shock there. Even if you're in
it's
like
a good
the biggest
basketball
cities in
team,
Utah.
though. Utah's typically
Yeah.
a good
Oh, it's got
basketball.
a-
like,
got a great tradition.
Yeah, they
Culture.
support. Yeah, without a doubt, they support their team, and it's actually Utah's great for business. It's like it's an emerging market, but I just don't see how it can work because they didn't make themselves better to me.
no.
So
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of draft capital now, but you have
Is
to.
he gonna want to stay
exactly.
there to wait that out? Probably not.
yeah,
I agree.
Mitchell
with
to
you.
New York.
Yeah, I don't know if we have the package.
yeah. I mean, what do you send?
Well, now you don't because Brunson is there.
Well, I mean, we have the draft capital to trade from. We would have to give up a few young players like OB, probably.
Well, and I think that was your decision to not draft. I think that was everybody got upset at the Knicks, but I think they were kind of like stockpiling and saying
if you looked at what they did the next day, it made
more sense.
They gave up that 11th pick, but you picked up 2 future firsts, and then you made the cap room to go get Brunson. So
Yeah.
So Mark Cuban's been very cryptic in some of his latest tweets, bringing some big name into town.
I know who he's trying to get, but they don't have the players that the Cavs want. So You know?
Yeah, speaking of the Cavs,
Look at that.
why don't you lead us on this, because these are your guys here.
I mean, I think this is the modern NBA. I think the Cavs have made the commitment to Jarrett Allen, Mobley, whatever you want to say, and then Darius. And the thing is, like, it's a huge commitment. And I like Garland. I mean, Garland really showed himself. He's improved every single year. He looked really, really good being the lone guard when Sexton was out last year. I like the moves that they've made, but is it enough? Like, I mean, are those three enough? So they've kept that core together. They've shown promise. I like the draft pick that they got. I think he is the right player. And I think that what they did with that pick is they said, we think we compete now. And so they got their most complete, the most complete player they could have drafted. But in the modern NBA, what does this do? I mean,
but so this goes back to what we were just talking about. Number one, it's like you said for the Wolves, you put it together and try to make it work. And number two, this is what you want teams to do. If you want continuity, if you don't want free agent movement.
Yes, I love this team. And they're going to pick up somebody because they did do it. They tendered an offer to Sexton, so now they're going to get something back.
Yeah.
But they've already said they don't like anything that the Mavs have.
Let me just end this. Let me just end this segment here and now. No, they don't have what it takes to compete. I mean, when you think of
They'll get to the playoffs possibly.
to an Allen, Mobley, Garland, big three. No, we're not talking about competition there.
Yeah, I mean, not enough to win. They might get to the playoffs. But who are they getting back? I mean, they got LeVert end of last year, and he didn't perform as well, but he came in really late. And he was a little bit injured.
No, LeVert's going to be better.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot better this year. He has a whole year in the system.
And this is the issue, though.
Yeah.
With the NBA, where it's at and where we were saying we want it to be, is that we have the conversations about the super teams, and then we have the conversation about this team keeping the young core together.
Well, it's just once somebody breaks from the pack, you got to do what you can to keep up. It's
already but then
this is what they could do. This is what they could do,
especially
and that's
a
the
team
thing.
like this. Yeah. I
So,
mean, you got to hope they mature, and one of those guys turns out to be, like I said, Anthony Edwards.
That's it.
And emerges to be a top 10 player.
They have to hope that he continues to be worth the $193 million guaranteed, and Evan becomes a superstar. They think
He's got to be the one to do it, I think, if anyone on that team.
Mobley.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Mobley a lot.
and they have to hope they end up getting a diamond in the rough for a Sexton trade.
How
That's what they have to hope.
how far off do you think we are from major sports teams doing actual fantasy drafts and kind of like redrafting every year? You think we'll ever get there?
No.
Oh,
No?
no.
You think that would
I
happen?
don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean,
would be.
we're so close
It'd be
now with
interesting,
what
but there's-
happens.
yeah.
With these max
I mean,
contracts and everything.
it does
And
seem
would-
that way.
It would.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what the public wants, and like everyone's waiting for their team to get their guy to come to the city, why not just do that shit?
I mean, it would. I mean, from a standpoint of a fan, it would break up the Laker, New York.
I would hate that.
Philadelphia, because players want to play in certain cities.
Oh, for sure.
So players don't want to go into Cleveland and play, even though if they just gave it a shot, it's probably a lot better than they think. They want to play in New York.
Good ad right there.
Well, I mean, name the cities they want to play in.
I
There's
guess
only
I'm old
4.
school. Well, I guess I'm old school.
I mean,
I wouldn't like that.
It's not even Philly and Chicago. They want to
No.
play in 4 cities.
They want to play
I
Los
wanna like the
Angeles,
players on my
Miami.
team. I want to
New
be
York.
fans of the players on my
so
team.
What
that's
else?
three.
What else? Miami,
LA.
LA,
New York.
What else? That's where they want to play.
Texas.
Orlando.
Dallas.
Maybe
People
Dallas.
play-
I don't think they
wanna
want to play in
play in
Dallas.
Dallas.
I mean,
Nah, I
who's
do.
rushing to play for the Mavericks?
Well, I mean, there's
Well, now I think there'll be people.
I'm just saying, what does it look like to me? It looks like they flow to a few
Big
New
name
York,
teams.
Miami.
So if you're just talking about cities and what the city itself entices people
It's
to
not the
come in
city;
and
it's
want to
the
play.
advertising dollars.
But it's also a
Right,
city.
but if we're leveling the playing field, right, and it's a fantasy draft or whatever, you know what I mean? I think there's plenty of cities that people would want to play in.
Well, they wouldn't have a choice.
Right.
Right,
In
but
that
what
scenario,
I'm saying is that I
right.
don't think they'd mind that, you know. So Rocky's saying like Miami, LA, and New York. Obviously, I mean, you know, and then you can even throw Boston in that mix, right?
Yeah,
but then,
Boston's maybe another decent one. Yeah,
But I mean, you'll bring in other cities into play too that people want to play in. You know, like Portland's a really cool city.
it's on fire.
Dallas, Houston. You know, there's some other cities.
Orlando?
Orlando's
Good
fun,
downtown.
man.
Oh no.
The Amway Center.
Yeah,
Nobody outside of Orlando thinks
nobody
Orlando's
outside of
great.
Orlando thinks. Yeah, they think of Disneyland.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean,
But yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
like
go
a
to
travel
Disneyland.
destination
we
on the
we
planet.
like it, but you know,
Downtown Orlando's
And
not
if
too
you don't
Johnny.
know
bad.
It's good for Johnny Isaac. but-
Pizza Planet. Not bad pizza at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, people
All right.
hate it. So let's talk about the guys that are at the center of all this, right? I mean, we touched on it a little bit last week. KD and Kyrie. KD asking to be traded the day after Kyrie opts in on his contract, and now Kyrie trying to force his way to LA. I mean,
It's a big question here.
Can I just say for Kyrie Irving, I feel like I've been more lenient towards his decision making. I've been kind of open minded to it, but for a player that is from the area where the Nets reside, it just like it stinks to like for him to be like, I'm going there, I'm gonna play for the home team, and then it's like kind of like crumple up the paper ball and like throw it in the trash can, like step your foot on it and kind of team up with LeBron in LA again. Like it just kind of
Yeah,
Kyrie is the worst kind of guy to
this
have
is
on
the
your
question: Is the Earth
this is
sick
not the
of
question.
KD?
Yeah, go.
And it's the
Let's
flat
see it.
Earth.
The
It's
flat-
the flat
Jesus
Earth
Christ.
sick of KD.
I
And
don't. I would
Kyrie.
never want if there were reports that the Sixers are looking to trade for Kyrie. I would hate that. I don't want. And if my team is trading for Kyrie, I don't think it's a positive move in any means. Kevin Durant, I'm lenient on because we've
I don't
seen
like
him
what
do
he
it.
did either, though.
But if it works with like if the Sixers
many-
trade for Kevin Durant somehow and keep Embiid, I think that's the squad low key.
Well, no,
If
yeah,
it's
out of the-
Irving, I'm hating myself.
Out of the two, I think KD's the one that you could stomach.
Yes.
Kyrie is just, I mean,
He just seems to be in any team he's been on.
they've lit that
Since
city- that
2016.
franchise on fire.
Yeah, since
He's a franchise
2016
killer.
he's been a franchise. And KD, who I like and who's talented beyond belief, hasn't played healthy in two and a half years now.
Yeah, there's that, and he just doesn't seem. I mean, there's a lot that could be said about.
How many championships does KD have?
He has
One.
two.
No.
Two.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. My bad.
So you won in
One Finals MVP.
Two
Golden
in the
State?
Warriors. Yeah, two with
Yeah,
the
you
Warriors.
won 2 with the Warriors.
Went
Yep.
to 3, 1, 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
He just can't do it alone. I don't know. How good is Kevin Durant, to be honest? Like, one of the best scorers of all time, but, like, I don't know.
I don't think he's the.
He's
I
got
don't
to be
know, man.
surrounded.
I think I'm going to be honest.
He's
People
been
talk
surrounded.
about the greatness of Kevin Durant, and I don't disagree. But I think that it's a different kind of greatness than
LeBron?
Michael Jordan or LeBron
Yeah.
or even Steph Curry.
I think so too.
It's a different level. I don't think he has that gear where he himself takes it over.
I think he
unless
does on the court. I don't
when
think
he's surrounded. Yes.
He almost did it with the Nets when the Bucks won. Like, he was like
No,
a foot length
on
away.
the court. I think he could do it. I think where he lacks, just looking from the outside, is as a leader.
His leadership and his teammate skills too. Because I mean, you're talking about a guy that's gifted in all areas of the game. The guy can shoot. The guy can slash. He blocks shots.
That's Kevin Durant.
He's a decent defender. You know, the guy can get to the bucket. The guy's
Can
got
also dribble.
Game. They can. On and off the court.
Let's get a list of the guys he's played with, though.
Well,
Right?
yeah, I mean, he's
Oh
getting
my
Russell,
gosh.
Russell Westbrook.
What's his balls on the back of people's legs game though? Is it strong?
Is
No,
it
his
good?
balls on the back
Depends
of
on
people's
the
backs.
size.
He's huge.
Russell Westbrook, James Harden, 2 former MVPs he played with in OKC, and Serge Ibaka, who made a few All-Star teams. He goes to the Warriors, plays with Klay Thompson, probably the second or third best shooter in NBA history. Steph Curry, we don't really have to talk about that, right? And then he goes to Brooklyn and he plays with James Harden again. He plays with Kyrie Irving, who's probably one of the top 5 scorer, just pure skills in the league.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a very
This
sweet
is who
shot.
he's played with his whole career. And then I'm going to go a little homer here, but you verse that with a guy like Melo, who's probably the best scorer in the league before he came into it. The best player he played with in his career was Allen Iverson when he was 33, 34 years old. And his Robin in New York was J.R. Smith. Okay? And I think he gets a lot of leeway because...
He's played with...
And the era he's playing in, but I think if he played 10 years ago when we didn't love stars as much and he had the career he has, I think he'd be lambasted even more.
Well, and I'm going to be honest with you, too. I don't think KD is... I don't think KD is able to play a game. Like you put KD in the 80s, he could not handle the physicality of that era.
Yeah.
You put LeBron back then, LeBron would bitch and whine like he does, but he could handle it.
Yeah.
KD cannot. He's
KD
slight.
can't.
He's way too slight physically. He can't handle it. Embiid, he'd whine like crazy. He could
Get it
handle it.
done.
He could handle it.
Giannis would thrive.
Giannis, too.
Yeah. Oh no.
But he would
Giannis,
complain.
I
Giannis
would.
would
He
thrive.
complain too because it's a different era. But they could exist. KD
I
could not.
don't think Giannis would complain.
I don't think any of them would because if they're
Well, they'd be
playing
growing
in that
up in
era,
that,
they'd
yeah.
be growing up in
Yeah.
that era. So
They'd
it'd
be
different.
thrown. I honestly would like to see LeBron in that era and see some of the nasty throwdowns he would do, or the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
I think your call on Carmelo, and I've been hard on him in the past, is fair. I would have loved to have seen a young Carmelo.
Play with a good player?
Yeah.
That'd have been
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carmelo
Yeah.
could score.
Yes.
I think he had like what 11 career assists or
Yeah.
something.
That's not true, but yeah. I mean,
That dude was he's the biggest ball
I mean, he
hog
was-
I've ever
listen,
I can
but
remember
listen,
in NBA history.
To be
But he
fair,
had to
though,
be. But he
I
had
know,
to be.
He had to be
He
on
had
every
to
team
be.
he was.
Yeah.
And I'll say that you watched him enough playing against LeBron. LeBron couldn't stop him. He couldn't stop LeBron, but they were the same type of guy. LeBron's just better.
Yeah. Carmelo, well, he's just bigger. Carmelo was the guy on the cover of ESPN magazine. Like he was the king of the city. Like
Yeah.
Carmelo,
Yeah.
he just started breaking down. He had some injuries. He had to be everything. You know.
There was that, and then like he was Durant before Durant. He was that small forward that could shoot inside out. He was that guy, but whatever. Don't get it. He just never played with the. I mean,
I
think about
can
the
just-
guys this guy's played with.
Yeah.
I can just say, going for me, Kyrie Irving will always have, and I've said this time and time again, the single greatest shot in Cavaliers history. Got us the championship, no doubt. I love the guy for that. He's a cancer on most teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's going to end up landing on his feet and getting his career resuscitated by going to the Lakers and LeBron saving his ass again.
Yeah, it might
That's
happen.
what I'm afraid. And that sickens me because where I'd like to see him go is I'd like to see him get jettisoned to the Kings. That's where I'd like to see him get jettisoned to the Kings.
That would be
and
funny.
Finish his career on his own.
I like to see him up in Toronto.
Yeah, I'd like to see him score 40 points a game.
Well, he wouldn't
on
be
a
able to
team
enter the
going.
country.
Oh, he's not
He's not
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
That'd be great. I'd like to see him score 40 points a game on a team going nowhere.
That'd be
what I'd
great.
say.
Yeah, send him to the
Or you know
Pistons.
what? Send him back to the Cavs because he talked trash about the Cleveland. Set him on the bench. That's what I'd like to see.
Well, so any other moves that we want to like just quickly touch on? I know Levine.
Levine and Beal.
Murray got traded, but there was a bunch of stuff that happened. Anything stick out to you? Wow, there goes my voice.
Yeah.
I like DeJounte Murray going to Atlanta because now that's a duo that
I
Stays
can't
in
wait to
the-
watch them.
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
nice. I like DeJounte Murray
I
as a
think he's a
player.
little overrated. I'll be honest with you.
Who, DeJounte Murray? He just
Yeah, you
got.
say that, but he's not on the
No, I
Knicks.
think
He-
he's good. No,
Knicks,
no,
he'd be
no.
like,
I mean, when before that happened, they were talking about the Knicks. It was the Knicks and the Hawks trying to get him, and I think he's good.
I mean,
I don't.
the
Think,
Hawks won
He just
again.
had the he just broke the record for most triple doubles for Spurs history.
you're a Mad fan, right?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he's a good player. I mean,
I think he's a good player,
The Hawks
too.
haven't had a playmaker besides Trey Young. If you think about it,
Yeah, they needed
John
it.
Collins had a
I
surgeon.
think he's going to be really good with Trey. I think it's
yeah.
going to be a really good.
Did
backcourt.
anybody drop the bag for Miles Bridges yet?
No, he actually is arrested.
With that rap troop? No.
He actually got arrested.
You didn't know that he got arrested for domestic violence?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, okay. I thought, man, that would have been funnier if you didn't. I thought you didn't know.
Yeah, I wish you didn't know.
with his rap troupe?
One thing I thought about Kevin Durant real quick is maybe he got cursed when the team that he played for, the guy got drafted to him, disappeared. So now he just has no
Oh yeah.
no loyalty and
that's
no
true.
like maybe he got damned. You know.
Do you
See,
think? I mean, do you think? I mean, I know that Golden State is saying they want him back,
Yeah.
No, I would
but
not do that.
do you think Draymond wants him back?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Draymond
think
and
of
him
the-
They
did
get
not get
him back.
along.
They're the favorite to win that.
Think of the podcast episodes that Draymond Green will
gosh.
have.
Listen. Everybody in the West got better. If they could get him back, they want him back.
How old is KD now?
I think
36.
he's 30. No,
Is that?
I think he's 35 tops.
I was going to say 38.
You're not far off. 38. Jesus.
He might be 32. Maybe I'm way off.
I don't think you're that.
Sandra Bullock is 57,
Yeah. that's
Kevin
good.
Durant's 33 years old.
33. Yeah.
You said 32, right?
No, I said 38.
Okay. Yeah.
How old is LeBron?
33 with a hairline
He's
of
36.
a
It's amazing to be
73-year-old.
doing what
Well,
he's doing.
30.
at
He might
38.
be 37.
He is 37.
It's amazing to be doing what he's doing at 37.
It is amazing.
I mean, it really
and,
is.
and it's crazy that he's only 37. Like that's
Yeah.
not old in actual
I'm
like human
37.
life. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, you think about he's been playing since he was what 18. I mean, he came in.
Well, he's been playing longer than that, Rocky.
No, but I'm saying he,
In the league?
in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I
amazing.
mean,
Clean
he
that
may
up.
he may be the first father to play with his son and still be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, I mean, it may not be that he may be better than his son when his son gets drafted. It
Probably
will
will
be
be.
better than his son, probably.
think it's
His
safe to
son's
say.
good, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to be that good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our ass of the week, Rocky. You ready for that?
You know, I'm not at all. In fact, I don't know if I know where the drop is. I got to be honest with you. Let me see if I can find it.
By the way, Lavina spelled wrong.
That guy's an asshole.
All right. So who is it? Who's the ass of the week?
I think this was your choice. I'm going to let you lead this.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, Joey Chestnut once again won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Great American champion.
Great American champion,
is, man, yeah.
and all time in his sport, the Michael Jordan of
Yo.
hot dog eating. There was a
I think Michael Jordan is the Joey Chestnut of basketball at this point,
Amen.
quite honestly.
there was a protester that ran onto the
I love that
competition.
picture. Mid
Yeah.
hot dog in his mouth.
So what happened was Joey Chestnut realized he was mid hot dog, and this person came up in front. Joey Chestnut practically almost broke the dude's neck, put him in a chokehold, threw him out, and then proceeded to eat 20 more hot dogs in
Nice.
second place. And
He was also wasn't he like injured as well?
Joey Chestnut came in on crutches. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what the injury was, but yeah.
So Joey lost because of this.
No, he won by
No, he
20
Won
hot
by
dogs.
20
Joe,
hot
Wow,
dogs,
my
yes.
gosh.
Even after safely getting Darth Vader off of the.
So what
Now,
is
Rocky,
of the
did
contest.
you draw these pictures? Or?
No, these are so I couldn't find. It was really weird. I couldn't find any still pictures. I could only find video that I had to
Screenshot.
Yeah, screenshot. It was
blurred
terrible.
binocular shots.
I think our guys on draft opening is better pixelation.
It's very, very fair. But Phil's going to save me because he's going to put a video up here. He said.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
So,
it
yeah.
exposed. Maybe I.
What does
maybe
that
I won't
mean?
know.
I don't know.
What does that mean? To
I have no
expose.
idea. We should look it up.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Battleland's Chug for chugging a whole
Lemonade.
gallon of lemonade in like 20 seconds.
So I'm assuming that
beast.
says expose Smithfield's Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Smithfield being a major meat plant.
Also, he's an anti-meat
Oh.
guy.
Probably like an
Oh.
anti-processed meat guy. I'm
I am
imagining.
an anti-meat guy too.
I would have loved for him to like vomit.
Somebody else is not.
I would have.
I was looking at my computer. What did you just do there?
I would have loved Joey to
Watch
vomit
guys on
a
draft.
semi-eaten and hot dog right into his mouth. That's what I would.
You would have loved that.
Yeah, I would've loved
That's
it.
more of that freaky stuff, huh?
Yeah, right there.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's
Well, you guys an ass, yeah.
yeah, for sure. Somehow,
Probably of the week.
chugging the lemonade gallon was impressive. In
Oh,
some ways, more
dude.
impressive than eating that many hot dogs.
Yeah. Well, you got to watch his channel. He'll chug like 2 liters of Fanta, like back
Did
to
you?
back.
I mean, his jowls are just boom, 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 going like that. It was terrible.
He's a
It was
large
like,
man.
yeah. He's a large man. So
Yeah, it just seems to be like a pork processing. Their food procedures aren't the best for Smithfield.
yeah, I like how the guy's wearing all black, like he's making a statement. Guys,
Well, he has the Darth Vader mask.
can
on.
tell he's a douchebag.
Yeah, what a nozzle.
I guess fight your fight, but maybe not in front of a legend. Getting his sports
Oh
on.
shit! I thought that was the back of the person.
No,
That's
that
them
was-
facing us.
Darth Vader mask. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Nick.
Uh,
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut strangling him.
I mean, you got the right to feel whatever you want.
And then apparently shoving a hot dog up his ass after he's on the ground.
I mean, you do. You got the right to feel whatever you want. You also got the right for Joey to beat your ass.
That's fair.
Don't
That's fair.
tread on Joey's moment.
Yeah. And then
This is
proceeds to just eat 20 more hot dogs.
So
than
is
the
this
next
what
person.
Joey does? Like, this is how Joey makes his living?
I am the
so.
4th of
Oh,
July.
dude. He's like he's the man, bro.
Yeah. How do you eat that much? Seriously.
You dip him
'cause,
in
like,
water and like.
No, I'm
That's-
saying, but like
that's
we
smart.
talk about that, but we can't eat. Like I couldn't eat.
We should do a hot dog eating
You
competition.
just screwed my joke, man. That's,
What was it?
So,
said ask Mark. You said how do you just
No, I think Mark's good
kept
for.
talking.
I mean, Mark's good for 20.
You could do 20, 25.
If he's
no,
drunk-
if you needed to.
no. Hot dogs? No.
If
Dude.
he's drunk, I think Mark could maybe get 30.
3 would be my max.
It-
Oh.
Shut up.
Yeah, no shit. 3 is my max, dude.
now-
No.
Seriously.
I can't
Mark,
even look at you.
I could eat 3 without even thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Three?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, I could eat 3 without
Three?
even.
It depends.
I-
Is the
You're a
competition?
large
I'm not on Mexican weight loss pills, buddy. Yeah,
I think
I can only do 3, all right?
Let me
I
say
think
that.
I ate 3 like
I ate
the
3
day
last
before.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
after,
3, that's,
after 2, I cut off, dude.
He
The,
could eat 3.
I probably do eat
the
3 in one
indigestion-
sitting.
Oh, yeah.
You
the
fucked
indigestion
up
is
saying 3.
disgusting.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
dude.
Not
No,
even
it's
4.
awful.
Not even 4.
No,
It's
I'm not
awful.
saying
3.
you wouldn't pay for it, but I think you could. I mean, I think you could get down a baker's dozen easy.
You're so when you
Not
go
even
you go to
close.
sub shop, you're going 12. You're going foot long, right?
No, dude. I do.
Well, then your thyroid needs to get checked, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it is what it
How
is,
many
dude.
could you- like, what do you think?
Stress
How
is
many
a
hot
hot dog.
dogs?
If I need like
No,
I
like
was
if
trying
you're
to beat
hungry
you
as
guys,
hell, yeah, and you're trying to beat us.
Wait, but is it like
Well,
in a
that's
time
two
frame
different
or is it
things.
like a marathon?
no,
It has to be,
just
it has to be a time frame.
no. Let's
Well,
say,
then we could just say forever, right?
no, I'm saying like
Until
in
you
a,
get
in a
full.
typical evening like this, we're with our spouses.
I thought we were saying how much could we eat if we're in competition with each
Yeah,
other.
in a competition in the
That's not a
4 hour
typical
4 hour
evening.
window.
Oh, 4 hours?
Yeah, like
A
over.
4-hour window in competition, not
Well, I mean,
like
we're
last night.
We're together with our spouses on the 4th of July, and we're eating.
You're saying two things.
Nobody's judging us. We're just.
All
we're-
right, so what I would normally just have if we were hanging.
No. How many could you eat in a 4 hour window? If
Are we trying to outdo each other or
Yes,
not?
yes.
Okay.
Joey Chestnut had 63 in 10 minutes for
yeah, but that's
Spectrum.
But
No, I'm just saying
that's
for,
not
for
normal.
reference.
That's
For
not a
reference.
I
human.
think I could probably get through 10
In a
What?
in 4 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. What about in?
Just 10?
I
What
don't
a-
know. I've never
see,
tried it.
Yeah. What about
I'm
I
thinking-
could like when I'm really hungry, if I'm drunk and I'm having a hot
4
dog.
hours?
I
Dude,
could do like 4 of them.
The buns alone are
sitting.
filling as shit.
I could
man.
probably do 7 an hour.
You think you could do 7 an hour?
How many could you
I
do
do.
in 6 minutes?
Maybe I'm underestimating myself.
I don't know. In 6 minutes?
6 minutes, I could probably do. I don't know.
I could probably do like 12 or 13.
I could probably do 4 in 6 minutes.
Yeah. I could do 12.
Just kidding.
No, there's no
That's
way.
overestimation.
I would vomit, but I could do
Guess-
12.
Guess what
6
we're
minutes?
doing?
No.
Have you tried
Definitely,
this?
this is definitely going to be a challenge. We need
Maybe
to-
7.
The two of you, we're going to put 6 minutes on the clock.
Who's the two of
and
you?
Them two.
That's right.
Claiming that
Okay,
they can do
yeah.
12 or 13 hot dogs. I ain't doing it, dude. I don't want.
No, it's got to be all 4 or nothing.
But the thing is, like,
No.
I
Why
would.
do I have to be in it?
All right, I'll eat 2 hot
I would-
dogs. I don't give a shit.
The thing about this, though,
no, you got to try.
the thing about that is, like, if I'm being serious, like, you take the bun off the hot dog, you dip it in water,
No,
you
we're not
break it
doing
up,
that.
you eat the hot dog.
We're
But
not
that's
doing
but
that,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying, though.
But
like,
he's not saying that. That's what I'm. That's
You're
what
saying
you were
like
confusing me.
casual hot dog eating.
Yeah, he's saying if we're with our spouses in a 4-hour period.
I'm saying like I could.
Okay, let's put it in this 6 minutes. This competition, what could you do?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Probably,
I have no idea.
I don't know, maybe 8, 9 hot dogs. I don't know.
6 minutes? Yeah, it's tough.
6
That's
minutes.
like
6 minutes.
That's stressing. That's a stressful 6 minutes.
I can, maybe 8, 7 or 8.
all right.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. I'm not
And he
saying
did 63, and that's not even his record.
I mean, I would boot, but I think I could eat 8 in 6 minutes.
I
Yeah.
bet you could.
No, that's a hot dog a minute. More than hot dog minutes. That's pretty tough.
It's crazy though. Imagine if these guys didn't get sponsorships. I've seen a documentary on this, and they have to eat like this year round. So like,
Ugh.
eating for them is not enjoyable. It's not like what we would do, like going out to a nice night, dinner. Like that doesn't satiate
I
these
wonder
guys.
what kind of like health issues they have because of this.
Oh, there's a lot of health issues
Yeah.
with these guys. That's why they have to. They try to stay on like a very active workout regimen, take supplements, and then also try to hydrate correctly too. Because I mean,
Well, I
a
follow
lot of the stuff that they practice on are like chicken wings, hot dogs, pizzas, hamburgers, like shit like that. Like it's crazy what these.
I follow a guy. I forget. I think his name's Randy Levine. He's a competitive eater. He just goes around the world being eating competition or deals, whatever they are at restaurants.
Like man versus food.
But yeah, he does that.
Oh, that's an Amber Alert, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Real time.
So what he does is like when he's gonna start, like he does little trips. Like he goes to Europe and he'll do it for like a few months. So like right before the trip, he ramps up, gets like his stomach stretched out and gets used to it. Then when he comes back, like he puts on weight, comes back, loses weight, but he goes to the doctor every 6 months. They do his blood work. They do everything. So he's actually pretty healthy. He shows it on his channel. It's a good follow, actually.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if when he comes to Florida, we maybe get him on the show, but he's pretty cool.
Does anybody talk about how much they shit the next day?
No.
Like, is nobody else interested by that? Like, you eat.
I don't think it's the next day. I think it's
Not
like
interested
You eat
in it.
73 hot dogs. Like, I mean, it's got to be a lot.
But I mean,
there's got to be a lot of fecal
but they
matter.
got to go behind the
He's going to
bandstand
throw
and
it
they
up.
got to
He's pulling
vomit.
the trigger,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be like.
I don't get the dedication. Maybe Joey Chestnut because he's probably making like a few million, right?
Oh,
I think you
easily.
make. What do you
Money,
make
yeah.
just for winning this contest? A couple $100,000.
Yeah, a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you got other sponsorships.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are sponsored by- yeah.
Smithfield, the Death Star.
All right, well, I think that was a
Yeah.
good show, guys.
Fantastic.
Hope you enjoyed your weekends. Again, I hope everybody out there enjoyed their Independence Day. Please follow us on our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, also YouTube at UFL Podcast. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and go watch Guys on Draft as well and vote on our drafts and pick who the real winner is.
Dance ball.
Stay-